In this video, we're going to show you how to use a single access server to connect two AWS VPCs and enable communication between them. This setup lets you access resources in both VPCs without having to deploy multiple access servers. By default, AWS doesn't allow traffic to pass between VPCs, but with a VPC peer connection and a bit of configuration in Access Server, you can enable seamless communication between the two. Let's look at our setup in this video. We have our VPC with our Access Server. You can see the subnet and the IP address of the Access Server, and we have another VPC with the subnet shown on the screen and an Ubuntu server, and you can see the IP address of that Ubuntu server. So what we're going to do in this video, we're going to create the peering connection, we're going to create the routes, allow traffic in Access Server, and at the end, we're going to test our connectivity. All right, let's walk through setting up VPC peering and configuring Access Server so the two VPCs can communicate with each other in AWS. The first step, as I mentioned earlier, is creating the VPC peering connection. First, sign into your AWS portal and head over to VPC. You can see on my screen that I have two VPCs with two different subnets, as I mentioned earlier on the slides. On the left-hand menu, click on peering connection and then click on create peering connection. Give it a name so you can easily identify it later. And then you need to choose your VPC, your local VPC. Here, I'll select my first VPC. We can see the subnet. And then for the acceptor, we're going to choose the second VPC. In this example, here it is. You can see the subnet here. Now, if you want to add any tags, you do that. Otherwise, click on Create Peer Connection. Review the detail. Everything is okay. You need to accept this peering connection and then obviously confirm it. Now, if I go to peering connection again, we can see ours is active here. Now that the VPCs are peered, we need to update the route tables so traffic can actually flow between both of them. Under VPCs here, we're going to click on route tables and then find the routing table that is associated with my first VPC, and then we're going to select it and then go to routes. We need to make sure that we select the correct routing table here. Then we're going to click on edit route. And here we're going to add a route. And for destination, we're going to choose the subnet of my second VPC. And for the target, we're going to use peering connection. And we're going to choose our peering connection, the one we just created. And then save changes. We need to do the same thing for our second VPC. So again, make sure you choose the right routing table and then go to routes, click on edit route, and here we're going to do the other way. We're going to add the subnet of our first VPC. Let me fix this, /16, and then for the target, again, peering connection, and we're going to choose the same peering connection we just created. Click on Save Changes. Now we need to allow traffic in Access Server. So basically, we need to make sure that Access Server is set up to handle this communication. So we need to sign in to our Access Server admin web UI. Let me go ahead and open up a tab here, and I'm going to go to my admin web UI. Now let's log in first, OpenVPN, and then the password. Once we're logged in, we're going to click on Access Control and then Global Access Rules. We need to make sure that we're using NAT. Keep in mind, you have to use NAT here because AWS doesn't allow routing mode with VPC peering. If you need routing instead of NAT, AWS recommends using a transit gateway. So here we're going to specify the private subnet of our second VPC, the one that we want to reach. Let me go ahead and add it, and then we're going to click on Save and restart our Access Server. And that's it, basically. After completing all these steps, we should be able to reach our second VPC or resources on our second VPC. In my case, I should be able to ping my Ubuntu on my second VPC. So we're going to test this here right now. Let's go to users. So we can see we have a user here, Tom. I'm going to connect as Tom. Let me bring up my Connect app. toggle the switch, and Tom is connected. Let's see if we can ping our Access Server and Ubuntu. So first, I'm going to ping my Access Server. We put the IP address here. And here we go. We can see we get reply. So we're connected to our access server. Now let's ping the our Ubuntu server on the second VPC, 10.0.5.92. And as you can see, is reachable. Now, if I disconnect and try to ping my access server or the Ubuntu, both I should get timeout. And as you can see, right now we're not getting replied back again. And that's it. This is how you connect two VPCs with one access server. For more information, head out to our website, openvpn.net. On the resources tab, we have documentation and tutorials.